Doing your own research has a stigma since COVID, but it is fundamental to the foundation of this show and how I want to live my life. And I hope all of you want to live your life. It promotes critical thinking. It's getting easier and easier and easier now to not critically think with the internet, with quick hit content that's sort of designed in an algorithm to you to promote a reaction, not a response. Now you have AI that is doing basic critical thinking and everyday life for people. But it really, doing your own research, critically thinking, it leads to better decision making. If you're buying a car, you're buying something on Amazon, you're choosing a doctor, you're deciding your career path, you're deciding your career change. Having a deeper understanding of the facts and the various viewpoints and perspectives that may agree with you, disagree with yours, change your worldview, challenge your worldview, whatever that is, it's key to making informed decisions. And having this show has helped me, again, give me the platform to have experts on here. And again, you can say you disagree with some of them or whatever, that's okay. But being open to that perspective is important, because anytime you're relying on a single source or someone else's opinion, it will lead you down the wrong path, or it could lead you down the wrong path. But your own research and your own worldview on a topic or on a decision, that empowers you to make the best decision and do the right thing for your needs and your goals. And that's why this is important for me, because it helps you build knowledge. It helps you build confidence. It makes you resilient. It gives you that learned behavior of taking the initiative to learn about something for yourself, to challenge your biases, to gain a sense of accomplishment and independence, that you are forming your own ideas. And you can form your own ideas based on the opinions and the thoughts and the views and the knowledge of others. But doing your own research and challenging your status quo in your mind builds confidence. It teaches you that you have the ability to navigate a complex topic, to solve a problem on your own without relying on other people that tell you what to do. So the reality is that we should question everything in life, because research is flawed. Biases exist. People and businesses have motives. Everybody's trying to sell you something or make a dollar off of you in some way, shape, or form. So having the ability to do your own research, listen to shows like this that are going to challenge the status quo, listen to alternative independent media to challenge the status quo of your view of what's happening in the world and politics, locally, federally, globally, all of these things. Use everything as a data point, and then you can form your own decision. And that's what the whole point of this show is, to help you go through life with more knowledge and more information so you can show up in the world with your eyes wide open, right? So when you are going to buy something, you're not going to just buy it blindly if it's new without review. So why would you buy anything anyone's telling you or selling you without asking yourself some questions like, who's telling me this? Why do they want me to believe this? Who benefits from me believing or thinking this way? And you can always follow the money, and usually you'll find some sort of motive. Now, that's not saying that everybody who's trying to sell you something is wrong, but have the critical eye to do your own research and understand the benefit to you believing or thinking in a certain way to somebody else. And again, if you can start viewing things that way, we can again have more empathy for people, have better confidence for ourselves and our ability to establish our own independent way of thinking about things. Because if you do that and you foster that deeper understanding and you actively seek out knowledge instead of just memorizing what's being told to you, you build connections with people, you understand the why behind things, you have a deeper comprehension of the topic, it makes it more easy to remember, because it's or maybe it doesn't make it more easy to remember, but it kind of gives you that foundation, right? Because it's easy to memorize a line or memorize a headline or memorize a talking point, but to form your own, it gives you a much better and more complete picture of the world around you. But it's challenging, right? And as someone who is often sort of standing up for something, as you know, with like the UCAN Foundation and taking on big reality TV over here, it isn't always easy to have a different opinion or a different point of view or a different way of doing things. If you remember me or me from Love is Blind, I make my own toothpaste, and that was a funny thing, but some people thought that was crazy. Dentists think I was making a huge mistake. Well, guess what? I haven't had a cavity in 15 years. I haven't had anything wrong with my teeth in 15 years. So, and I've only been doing this for 10. But my point is like I did my own research and I realized, you know what? I'd rather make my own toothpaste. I know what's in there. I know what the ingredients are doing. I know which ones are, not in there causing harm anymore. So just little things like that help you sort of foster the deeper understanding, but it isn't always easy. It's difficult to stand up and have a different way of thinking. If you've listened to this show or you go back and listen to some of these episodes, I talk about neuroscience, which I didn't even really know was a thing before this show, at least to the extent of what it is. I've learned so much about mental health from all of those professionals who've come on. We've talked about all sorts of different things. And then there's the intersection of neuroscience and mental health and how the things that we do in our everyday life, from our phones to watching porn to making our bed in the morning and the chemicals that are balancing in your brain and how that impacts your mental health. All of these things are new to me, and I've learned because I've done my own research to find experts in this field to come in and teach me so that I could learn from them. Same with political viewpoints. I've had people on this show with political backgrounds or news, independent media backgrounds, and we've debated, we've had fun conversations, we've agreed, but it's always been in an effort to learn more about this person, about their political beliefs and their viewpoints, so that I can better understand someone who maybe arrives at the same conclusions on some things and then we disagree on other things. And maybe we have the same idea but different paths to get there. And having these conversations and doing your research and being able to listen to others, that's how we come together. That's how we evolve. I've had holistic and integrative health coaches and doctors and modern science for longevity and doctors that are my own experience of receiving stem cells in my hip that I documented for everyone, and the way that has positively influenced my life is truly something I'm again grateful for. We talk about, but like if I didn't have this show and I wasn't doing my own research, I would have a hip replacement right now because that's what my doctor told me about a year ago. So when you do your own research, when you sort of build your own data points and turn that into actionable decision making, you are learning viewpoints that are maybe factual, maybe not. Maybe something can be proven true by scientists or scientific research. Maybe it's a government agency. Maybe it's a specific doctor. It could be any of these things, right? But the bottom line is you have to do your own research, and you have to take your life, your experience in this world into your own hands, because if you don't, you're going to be living someone else's truth, someone else's experience. And that's not the thing that's right for me. It's not the thing that's right for you. It's not right for anyone's. The other thing to remember, anything I should say, that can be scientifically proven true or scientifically sound. It's all true until it's not anymore. And that's science and that's research. It's always changing. It's always evolving. There's always something more to learn. There's always something that's going to evolve and change, whether that be modernization of technology, whether it be environmental factors. It could be any of these things. But doing your own research gives you the skill to critically think. It gives you the neuroplasticity. It gives your brain the ability and the willingness to change and evolve and stay strong. So doing your own research, as taboo as it is the foundation of this podcast. It's so that we can all do the work. We can all do the research. We can all learn together. We can collect data from different types of sources. So we're not just regurgitating things that are fed to us by people who have an agenda or a motive. So I encourage all of you to take these learnings that I've had from this podcast, and I think a lot of you have learned this with me throughout this entire 3-year experience, but we have to do the work so that we can show up in the world with our eyes wide open, which I say in the intro to this. And doing your own research is foundational to that, and that is the reason that this podcast exists. Thank you for listening to this clip from the full episode of Eyes Wide Open. Please like and subscribe for daily clips and new episodes that drop every Tuesday. I appreciate you.